Okay, today's training session is going to be doing campaigns through the numerous free Mailchimp accounts that we have set up. First, let's take a look at the tracking spreadsheet that I use to manage the accounts. So you'll see the user or the account name is in this left column, the email that I use to log into the account, and the password. And you'll notice the password is the same in all of them. So if you look down, you'll see starting with Beachfront, which has 1,438 names in it, down to this one that I originally started with, United Realty, has 984 names. And these names here are the other brokerages that are listed within that Mailchimp account. So you'll see to date I've got about 15 live accounts. Now if you look at the records in the account, you'll see Beachfront has 1,438, United has 984, KW Florida 1144. My goal here is to keep these preferably just under 1,000. And the reason for that is Mailchimp allows you to have a list up to 2,000 users and mail it 6 times a month for free. So you can send a total of 12,000 emails out of each account per month for free, but you can only send a maximum of 1,000 per day. So if you look at this Beachfront, if I send it on May 3rd, I can't send it again on May 4th because that will put me over 1,000 a day. So my goal here is to get these all up to about 1,000 a day. So you see in the ones that are under 1,000, I have this little cheat sheet here that tells me to add them. Okay, so that's just a little background. This is the list that we're going to work through as we do our mailings. So let's show you how it all starts. So I go into my main Mailchimp account. And this part I will do. I will always create the template that needs to be sent to them, because the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create it in my main paid Mailchimp account, and I'm going to send it to my lists. And then once I'm done with it, I'm going to actually come here and I'm going to export it, and then you'll see it's going to come down on the bottom here, and I'm going to open it up. And that's what the mail that we're going to be sending out is going to look like. However, for me to get it into the other systems, I need to do something here. I need to right mouse click and view the page source, and this is the actual HTML code that I'm going to copy into each of those Mailchimp accounts. So I capture this, and you won't need to do this necessarily, but I'm just going to do a Control A to highlight all of the information, then a Control C to copy all of the information. Then I'm simply going to start going through the Mailchimp accounts, and I'm going to start importing this into them. So I know my first one is Beachfront. Now when you first start, you'll use the spreadsheet to put in the name and the password. But after you put it in, maybe only once or a couple of times, it will default in just like it did here. The password you will have to enter each time, but it is the same on every account, so that should make life easy. Then once you're into the account, you're going to come to Templates. Then you're going to go here to the right and create a template. And then it's going to ask you what type of template do you want. You're going to click Code Your Own, and then you're going to select Paste in Code. Then this screen is going to pop up. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete all of this code here, and then we're going to paste in the code that we've selected from the original template that we created. So I just left mouse click here, I drag it all the way to the bottom, making sure I got all the code. Then I simply hit the delete key, and because I've already copied the other code in here, I can just do a Control V, which is paste. I could probably do a right mouse click paste as well, but I find the Control V command to be just as easy. So Control V, then you'll see it's saving it. Then what I do is I save it down here, and then you go to Save and Exit on the bottom right, and then you name it. Today is May 23rd. I'm going to be sending out almost an email a day this week, so I'm just going to keep it simple because I'm going to have to put this name in 15 times. I don't want to have to type anything that is long and annoying. Then I'm going to say Save it. So now this template is saved. The next thing I'm going to do now is once this template is in my system, I'm going to send a campaign out. So I'm going to click on Campaigns. And you'll see here, here's the other campaigns that have been sent in the past. So I'm going to create a campaign, and this, you're always going to be dealing with a regular campaign. So you're just going to click this top one, regular campaign. And there's only one list in this account. So the list we're going to send to is Beachfront Realty. We're going to come to the bottom right and click Next. And then we're going to name our campaign. Again, to keep it simple, I'm just going to call it 523, which is today's date. Then the email subject I will always give you. Let me go grab it for this one. I've got it working here. So I'm just going to grab that and go back into my Mailchimp account. And I'm going to paste that in. And on this one, I'm going to just add a little and I will tell you what this should be every time. And then once you have your campaign, your subject, and your from name filled in the way I would like you to do it for each campaign, we're just going to come to the bottom right and click Next. Then we're going to come up here and we're going to select the template, and we're going to select the one we just put in here. Now you'll notice all the ones we did in the past, you can see what they actually look like. But before you send a campaign the first time, it won't show. So don't be worried that it shows a question mark here. We know it's 523 because we just created it. So go ahead and hit Select. And that's going to bring that campaign into the live, that's going to bring that template into the live campaign. And you'll see on the bottom here, it's showing you along the way where you are, right? So I've already selected my recipients. I've already created and set up and created the template. Now if I need to make any design changes, I can do it here. And next thing I'm going to do is confirm. So I'm just going to come to the bottom right here and click Next. And now it just kind of gives me a summary screen. It says, okay, you're all set to send. We're sending to 1,420 recipients. This is our subject line. Replies are going to this email address, blah, 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 other stuff that doesn't really concern any of us. And then down on the bottom right, we're just going to go ahead and click Send. Now, sometimes I'm going to ask you to do these in advance and schedule it. So you're always going to have to be mindful if we're sending it immediately or if we're scheduling a send, because sometimes we're going to want to get ahead of the schedule and make sure we've got campaigns lined up to go so we're not always hustling to do them last minute. On this one, it's just after 8 in the morning on Monday the 23rd. I want to get this out now, so I'm going to go ahead and hit Send. And then Mailchimp has a pretty humorous approach to life where they show the monkey about to hit the send button, and I think you'll see a couple of drops of sweat start coming if you make them wait too long. But it says you're about to send. This is your moment of glory. There you see the sweat. So now once you hit Send, it's ushering your email into the send queue, and then the system gives you a high five and you're off to the races. So now we have completed one of the 15 accounts. So what we're going to do is we're going to log out of this account and we're going to log into our next account. Now I just happen to know the next one is United. You'll be using your list. I'm sorry, it's called Webinar. Is that? What is it called? Oh, Education. Sorry. Trying to hurry it for the instruction. Okay, so same thing. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go to templates. We're going to create a template. We're going to code your own. We're going to paste in the code. We're going to come here. Sometimes the background will be black, sometimes it will be white. It's mostly white on this one, and one other it's black. Don't let it concern yourself. Just grab it, left mouse click, drag it all the way to the end, delete, and then Control V. Whoops, I had copied my subject line in there, didn't I? So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go back and grab the code again. So here it is, Control C. And let's go back in here and then Control V. And we're going to save it. We're going to save and exit. We're going to name it just like before, 523. I guess I didn't hit save. Okay, great. There it is. It's in there. So now we're going to go ahead and do campaigns. So we're going to create a campaign. It's going to be a regular campaign as always. Now on this one, I started with United Realty, but because I wanted to get close to 1,000, I've got multiple lists in here. So when you see multiple lists, typically you're just going to want to start at the top list and then click it and then come down here and hit next. Ultimately, I'm going to combine these all into one list, so you don't need to concern yourself with this because it does get a bit time consuming when you've got multiple lists in each account. But for now, that's the way it's set up, so we need to deal with it. So we're going to send this 193 recipients from Lifestyle International Realty. We're going to click Next. Same thing. And where's my subject line? I've got to go grab my subject line again. Here it is. Put that in here. I've got to take Miami Association out of here. They don't like me. Corporation class instructor. Okay, and then I'm going to hit next. I'm going to pick a saved template. It's 523. Again, it doesn't show the detail because I haven't sent it yet. And I'm going to just come next. Everything should be right. We shouldn't have to mess with it. And then I'm going to hit send. Send. So now, because in this account I've got multiple lists, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to campaigns. Now, rather than do all of that manually again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until this list that I just sent to shows up here, and then I'm just going to come over here and say replicate. But I can't do it until it shows up, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here, I'm going to hit my little refresh tab, and now that that campaign is in there, now I can come here and just say replicate it. I saved myself a bunch of keystrokes. So I just go to the next list, click next, next, next. Sometimes you'll wish this was faster, and then send, and it's sending to the 61 users here. So now, because I've already got two in there, because this one here is the same as this one, I don't need to wait for this one to populate. I can just go back and replicate this one. But I just want to be mindful that I already sent to this list, so make sure you don't go back and resend to a list you just sent to. So now I'm going to go to Extreme Team Realty. Next. 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 Send. Send now. Beautiful. Go back to campaigns. Grab the most recent activated one. Replicate it. All right, so we've sent to 3 of these. Now we've just got United to send to. And everything is in there, so we don't have to retype anything. Okay, and we're going to hit next. And we're going to hit send. So now we have completed 2 of the 15 lists. So the job entails just going to the next list. So now I don't remember what the next list is. No problem. I just come back to my list. So I've done Beachfront. I've done Education at United Webinars. I'm going to go to KW, Florida. So we just come here. We type in. And again, once you type it in once, it will appear. And same drill. Templates. Create template. code your own. Paste in the code. Delete the code that's here by left clicking and holding it and dragging it all the way down. Delete. And now remember, we can't just paste because we have the subject line that we most recently pasted. So we've got to go back and grab our code, which you will have in an open tab once you do this. I'll show you how to do that. Control C, come back here, Control V, puts the code in there, you save it, save and exit, name it, save the template, beautiful, go to campaigns. Now we're going to create a campaign, regular campaign. On this I have two lists, so we're going to start with the first one. And you'll notice there's 1100 in here. So by doing 1100 now, it's about 20 after 8 in the morning. I have to wait until 8:30 tomorrow morning to send to both of these lists again. That's why I try to get the campaigns out early in the morning. So if I do have to send 2 days in a row, I just wait a half hour after the 24-hour mark. Okay. So my campaign name is 523. My subject line is, I'm going to go grab that. Copy this. Bring it in here. And I never want to see the company corporation there. We're always going to change that to Corporation Class Instructor, or whatever I deem it to be for a particular campaign. For this one, we'll keep it consistent with that. Then we're going to select which template we want. Remember, we just created 523, so we're going to use that. We're just going to click through this because everything should be set up and ready to go. Then it's telling us it's going to send to the 901 recipients here, and we're going to send. And then same thing, back to campaigns. I don't want to type all that information over again, so I'll just wait till this one shows up, and then I'll replicate it. So let's just refresh, and it's ready. Sometimes it doesn't appear that quickly, so you might have to wait a couple of seconds, but it's still worth waiting rather than retyping all that information in every time. So we're going to replicate that campaign. We're going to pick our next list, and we're going to come to next. And let's see, we've got everything in there, so we're just going to have to click next. Brings the template up, next, and it's all ready to go to these 236 recipients. So on the bottom right, we're just going to click send. Okay, so now we're through 3 of the 15 lists. We're going to log out of this one. We don't remember which one we need to go into, so we come back to our thing. So this is Juan B. From. There's a reason for that name, but I won't bore you with it now. All right, same thing. I'm sure you're getting the hang of it now. First thing you want to do is come to templates, create templates, code your own, paste in the code, get rid of the code that's here, left mouse click, drag it down, delete. Then you're going to go back to where your code is, Control C, come back to the template, Control V, save it, save and next, name it, save it, launch templates, create a template, regular campaign. I'm sorry, I said template, I meant campaign. So you'll see here I've got multiple lists again. No problem. We'll just start at the top. Next. We'll come here. We'll name it. Come here. We'll put in our subject line. And I'm too lazy to type it, so I'll just copy it in there. And let's see. I've got to take Miami Association out of here. They don't like that. Corporation Class Instructor. There we go. Come over here. Next. Save templates. 523. The template you're going to be sending is always going to be on the top left because it's the one you just put in. Then you're going to come here. You're going to say next. And send. And your moment of glory. So now that list is out. Remember, we've got 3 more lists here. We don't want to have to type in all that information again. So we'll give this one a second to get over here. We'll just click refresh on my browser. And there it is. Again, it's not always there right away, but it's very worth waiting for it. Replicate. We go to my next list. Next. 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 Send. Now again, I've already sent the first one, so I don't need to wait for the second one again, right? So if this second one's not here, I've already sent this one. I can come here and just keep moving. I don't need to wait. But again, remember, I already sent LaPlaya, so make sure you don't go back over the list you just sent. Next. It's pretty simple. It's repetitive. It just takes a little bit of time, but it's worth it because we get much higher open rates going through Mailchimp, and of course these are free accounts. We'd be spending hundreds of dollars if we were using paid accounts. Next one we're going to do is Desert. And we're going to finish this account, then I think we're going to take a break. Okay, so just so you know, Juan B. from, Juan B. is the name of the broker at Florida Realty of Miami. So there's from, okay? And all my information is in there. And next. And send. Okay, so now we have completed, how many? I lost count. Let's go back to the list. So we've completed 1, 2, 3, 4. So not very difficult, but it just does take time. So you see we've got all these left. I may do a few on my own now and then come back to the video and just continue the training for repetition's sake, just to make sure you fully understand.